My lips dry a little bit. Let me put some chapstick on. Hi babes, welcome back to my channel. My name Welcome back to my channel. My name is Isha. If you're new here, I hope you stick around, subscribe for videos from me. In today's video, we're going to be talking about all the books I read in January and February. I didn't film one for January, so we're going to be doing a read and wrap up. My Goodreads is always linked down below if you want to add me as a friend on Goodreads. Every single month this year, I want to read a fiction book, whether it's a self-help, a memoir, life lesson story, stuff like that. If I can read a book that's going to better my life, I'm going to do that. So that was one of my goals for this year. That was really long-winded for no reason. The first book, The Mountain Is You, was a reread. I read it last year. 5 stars. Book is just talking about how the person, the only thing that's standing in your way is yourself, and the way you think about yourself and the way you think about life and everything like that. I really enjoy that book. I really recommend it if you want to dip your toe into like self-help, self-development type books. The next book is a new favorite, Promise Me Sunshine. This book is so beautiful. Actually, I'm gonna edit my review for it so it can go up tomorrow for TikTok. This book was so beautifully written, so captivating from start to finish. The characters, the depiction of grief in the book, the story itself, the storyline, learning to love again and become yourself again after losing someone that like meant the whole world to you. It was just such a beautiful book from top to bottom. Okay, I highly recommend it. And Caraba Stone, she's an Audible author for me. I read Ready or Not last year, and then I basically read all her books and listened to all her available audiobook that was on Audible as well. Like, I'm a stan. Her books are amazing, life-changing. I bought the physical copies, coming in the mail tomorrow, and I cannot wait. I want to reread it, but I highlight all of my favorite quotes. I was like this close to booking a tattoo appointment. I'm still thinking about it. It was my first 5-star read of the year. I started off the year amazing because of that book, and I cannot recommend it enough. Like, if you are thinking about getting into her books, if you've seen anything about this book and you're like, I don't know if I'm gonna like it, trust me, read it. You'll love it. Have a heroine that just lost her best friend. She's going through grief, but she's also really good at like putting up a front like everything's okay. She's a nanny. She meets Miles, and Miles is the uncle and the brother of her most recent client. She meets him. He's really grumpy and like standoffish at first, and they end up making a pact to where he helps her get through her grief and she helps him. Of a likable, personable person, and the story is just so beautiful. I highly recommend. I also reread Funny Story, and if you remember, I did a ranking of Emily Henry's books last year. I'll have it in the iCards, and I think I rated this one like 4th, 3rd. This one is probably 2nd, if not 1st. This one is neck and neck with Beach Read for me. I'm going to reread Beach Read so I can see if I'm being delusional. Because Beach Read is one of my favorite books of all time, and I don't know if I'm being delusional or if it truly is like up there with Beach Read. Oh, and Emily Henry's dropping a new book next month. Oh my god, I cannot wait. I don't think you understand like the way that this book is gonna. Oh my god, Emily Henry. I'm surprised I haven't got a tattoo for an Emily Henry book yet. Like, I'm honestly genuinely surprised, but that is besides the point. Funny Story is following Daphne and Miles, giving new girl Jess and Nick vibe. Daphne is a librarian. Oh, she moved to the town that she's currently living in because of her fiance. Her fiance ended up dumping her a couple days before her wedding, and he ended up leaving her for his best friend, which is Miles' girlfriend. She needs a place to stay. He needs a roommate. They end up living together, and one day they end up hanging out because they get invited to their ex's wedding. Okay, so they like start to become friends. So they're friends, they're roommate, and basically he's trying to convince her to stay in the town that they're living in. I can't remember the town right now off the top of my head, and he's basically just showing her around and making her fall in love with where they're living. They're also falling in love with each other at the same time, and it's amazing. It's like a friends to lovers kind of fake dating and roommate romance. His sister comes into town. Like, it's just amazing, you guys. It is just amazing. I like books that make me look at life a different way, and this book definitely did that. Either like everyday life becomes beautiful, like when you're living every day with someone that you care about, and everyday things makes life what life is. And Emily Henry, she does it every time for me. She does it every time. The next book is Rhythm Blues. This one was cute and messy at the same time. This book is following Rhythm and Channing. Rhythm was in a relationship with a famous rapper. She did not want to be in the limelight. Her famous rapper boyfriend was being real disrespectful towards her relationship, basically. It's her last straw. She ends up leaving him. She owns a physical therapy, what's it called, center. Channing is a music producer. His grandmother goes to her clinic for physical therapy. They end up bumping into each other, and I think you can already see where it's going. Like, he's a music producer. Her ex is a rapper. They're kind of all intertwined and all interconnected. I have a one night stand and it basically just goes from there. Very much so protective, possessive men. Well, I like one of the protective, possessive men. The other one, you know, eat a denim jacket from the bottom of the ocean for all I care. Oh, I rated Rhythm Blues 4 stars. Emily Henry, y'all already know that was a 5 star. Happy Medium. Happy Medium is following Gretchen and Charlie. Gretchen pretends that she's a sidekick to make a living. Ends up getting hired by one of her favorite clients to help Charlie get rid of a ghost to sell his land. She ends up there, and when she ends up on the property, she actually ends up seeing a ghost and talking to a ghost because the place is actually haunted. This was fun, this was quirky, this was kind of lighthearted. It's a grumpy, sunshiny type of magical realism in there. It was just very enjoyable. I think I rated it either 3.5 stars or 4 stars. He's a farmer and he's like all rugged and he has tattoos, and y'all see the vision. Okay, so the next book, we're gonna move into March because that was the last book I read in January. January is a very slow reading month for me, not gonna lie. Yeah, I read 5 books, which that isn't bad because I am trying to just read when I feel like reading. So that was the goal for this year, and I feel like I am accomplishing that already. The next one is the Kiss Countdown. I've been seeing this book since it came out. Finally read it, and it was so stinking cute. So this one's following Amory. I really hope I'm saying her name right, and Vincent. And Amory ends up, she's out of a job. Her mom has a chronic illness and she's an event planner, and Vincent is an astronaut. We got a man that's going into space. They bump into each other again, and when they bump into each other again, it was right after she just bumped into her recent ex with his new girlfriend. So she ends up pretending that her and Vincent are in a relationship. She's trying to get her foot back in the door with event planning. So they end up fake dating. I'm like, am I over explaining it again? Let me not explain so you can actually read the story and understand. He needs her to fake be his girlfriend for a family trip. It kind of has like works proximity there too, 1 bed trip, all the good things. I rated 4 stars. This one was the partner plot. This is probably might be my favorite one out of the trilogy. This is part of the Green Sister trilogy. It's following Violet and what is his name? Xavier. Okay, that came to me real fast. I'm surprised. The high school sweetheart, second chance romance. Violet is a stylist for celebrities and Xavier is a basketball coach and a high school teacher. They end up being in Vegas at the same time together. They bump into each other. They haven't seen each other since they broke up in college. They end up some way, somehow, fake getting married, and then they end up fake in a relationship. So this also has like small town romance vibe, kind of based in New York too. Really close-knit sisters. Love the Green Sister. Violet is kind of like the rebel sister. I love me a small town romance, especially when it's like I'm getting the best of both worlds with. Rate is 4.5 stars. This one is A Legend in Baking. This one like 3.5 stars. Reading this one recently, it kind of lost me. I don't know. So this, let me explain a little bit. The Legend of Baking is following, I don't remember their name. This is my fault for rating it 3.5 stars because as soon as I read it 3.5 stars, in the back of my head I just forget their name. Oh, this one is following Sloane and August. August is her brother's best friend. Her brother and his 2 best friends own a bake shop, and August is the baker. Like he's always in the kitchen baking it up. They're all football players, professional athletes, and they bake. August and Sloane, they don't really communicate. This book switches from past and present. Sloane works in social media. Sugar Blizz needs a social media manager. Basically, she's out of a job. She ends up working together on a campaign, feeding on that. So they end up spending a lot of time together because she's constantly making content for them. All that's happening. The reason why I rated this 3.5 stars was because basically when it switches from past to present, I do, like, this might be a spoiler, so I'll put on the screen the time to go to the next book if you plan on reading the book and you don't want to hear what this is. I'm mostly cheating on his girlfriend turned wife with her. You could tell they're building like a strong connection that like you should probably only have with like your friends like you're not attracted to and your partner, and he basically has that connection with her, and then she ended up kissing him, so basically he ended up cheating on fiance. But she was a terrible person anyway. I didn't like that aspect of the book. That was the only thing that like it kind of gave me like cheating vibes, and I was like But I did enjoy the book overall. Like I looked over that aspect. I was like, okay, yeah, 3.5 stars. We did those 2. The next one is 1 Week in Paradise. This one is also a book that I started like a long time ago and then forgot that I was reading it, went back to, and then I finally finished it last month. So this one's following Bailey and Cash. Cash is Bailey's brother's best friend, and Bailey is a influencer, content creator. She had like a very public scandal that happened. She's been having post anxiety since it happened. She ends up being offer this brand trip. Oh, she ends up bringing cash along, basically merge herself back into social media content creation influencer realm. So they end up going somewhere tropical. They're there for the week. They're fake dating. They're doing like all these jet skiing, spa, all that type of stuff, and they're there with like other couples too. It's cute. I liked it. It's more of a book that I have rather read in the summer. I did start it in the summer of 2023 and just not finished it, so therefore that was my fault. Yeah, I enjoyed it. Characters are British as well, so it's a cute light read. The next one is Unfinished Business. I read Strictly Professional last year in December. I don't think I filmed a December reading wrap up. Yeah, I don't think I did. I don't want to have to explain the first one to explain this one, but this starts off there. The last book basically ends. I'm following Terrence and Gabby, and in the first book they ended up getting together. No funny business was supposed to be happening between the two because she was starting off at the law firm and he was training her basically. Okay, so nothing was supposed to happen. They kind of had a connection, you know the vibes, okay? That was the first book. Then this book ended up breaking up because of a certain reason. They have a kid. I rate both of the books 4 stars, if not 4.5 stars. I liked them. They were short and they did what they needed to do. The next one is In the Weeds. So this one's following Beckett and Evelyn. Evie, she is a travel influencer blogger and he works on the Love Light Farms. Okay, Beckett, he's so cute. Actually, I might actually rate this higher because of Beckett. I rate this 3.75. I haven't read Business Casual. I'm going to read that one. In the Weeds might be a little bit ahead of Mixed Signals because of how cute Beckett was. Evie and Beckett hook up one time when she's in Maine. In the first book, she ends up on the farm, at light on the farm, to give the farmer business. So she's there, but they stay away from each other. In this book, she ends up getting burnt out from her job and traveling all the time. She wants to go to the last place she was happy. The last place she was happy, Love Life Farm. So she ends up back at the farm. Beckett is the oldest brother. He's also kind of always been like, always taking care of everyone, always taking care of everything, always doing what's best for everyone else, spite of his feelings and despite what's best for him. I think this is a 4-star read. Because like now that I'm thinking about it, now I'm talking about it even more, like I love Beckett. Another tattooed blonde man. I don't know what was going on this. This is a small town romance. I like for proximity. They're living together. Rate this one. I think I just bumped it up to 4 stars. I like just such a sweet, kind, thoughtful man. He was just thoughtful and caring, taking care of everyone, just making sure everyone was taking care of. And he was like, what, above 6 foot, tattooed and blonde hair, a little rugged, works on a farm. What can I say? The next one is The Time I Got Drunk and Yeeted a Love Potion. I don't know why I can't ever say that. A love potion. Potion. Thank you. At a werewolf. I rate this one 4 stars. I do want to read the rest of her books. These books are fun, they are entertaining, they have the spice, they're fun, they're magical, they're sweet, they're just a good vibe. Not remember their names for the life of me, but she's his mate. He's a werewolf. He's also very much so a golden retriever werewolf. Like, he's so damn bad for her, cooking her breakfast, doing whatever she wants, just so in love with her. His little tail wags every time she says something to him. Like, he's just adorable and cute. He's more standoffish when it comes to like relationships and dating, and like she doesn't think that he's really in love with her and that she's really his mate. So like it kind of has that, and it's kind of like forced proximity. The next one is Mixed Signals. This one is following Lila and Caleb. This one was also sweet and adorable. Am I just rating these 3.75 because I'm being mean, or are these really 4-star reads? The more I think about them, the more I talk about them, the more I like them. These are both 4-star reads. So Lila is a bakery shop owner. She also works on the farm, Love Light Farms, all interconnected. Caleb is a summer school teacher. So they end up making a dating pact because Lila's always picking the wrong guys and picking guys that aren't right for her. And Caleb is just like the sweet, patient, golden retriever-esque, loves everyone, walking sunshine boy. Has had a crush on her for a long time, but has been too sweet and kind in his relationship, so he wants to know what he's doing wrong in relationships. Which I feel like, why would the ladies even tell Caleb that? Because like, that's a good man, Savannah. They end up dating so they can learn what they're doing wrong on dates, so that when they stop their like dating pact, they can find people they want to be in relationships with. So they're dating, the whole town sees what's happening. You know, I love those vibes. I read All About Love. This is my second fiction book of the year. This book touches on all forms of love, every single meaning of love, what love truly is. Heartily, it touches on childhood love, it touches on platonic love, relationship love with yourself. It also talks about the way the world works, societal love. Recommend. I think everyone should read it. Be like a constant reread for me. Like I'm probably gonna end up reading this every single year to refresh my memory. And the fact that the book came out in like 1990 something and there's still events that she talks about then that are reoccurring and happening constantly throughout time, and especially like right now too. And I was like, oh, so y'all never trying to change? So like y'all never trying to better yourselves? Okay. So I do recommend. I do want to read her other books. The last book I read in February was Captured by the Highlander. I don't know how I ended up here, but I do know that it was free on Audible. So of course I was like, oh, historic romance. Listening, locking in. This book is following Amelia, I can't say it right, okay, and Duncan. So Amelia's at the wrong place at the wrong time. Her fiance, dirt rat. Duncan basically breaks in to her fiance quarters and is going to her fiance, but she's there instead. So he ends up kidnapping her, and they're going on all these adventures together. They're hiding. This is based in Scotland. It's a war going on between Britain and Scotland. So she's British, he's Scotland. It's a lot of drama going on. I enjoyed it. It was fun. I recommend going in blind so that you can get all the adventures in prime time, because there was a lot going on. I read in January and February. If you guys enjoyed this video, if you did, don't forget to like, comment, and subscribe, and I'll see you guys next week in my next video. I hope we are all having a wonderful reading month. Let's get our thumbnail, girl. Bye, XOXO. Oh, made me sad. Oh, actually, I do gotta go.